Hey guys, Chris back here again from CNH Small. You got a quick video here for you guys. A customer, or I should say a subscriber, wanted me to do a quick comparison between two machines here, an older generation and a newer generation machine, so they can have some kind of comparison between different machines right here, even though they're almost like the same exact types made by a different brand. So I thought I'd do a quick comparison. We actually had a couple in my shop here right now, so we can do that. The first one over here on the left hand side is a newer generation Murray right here. And the other one on the right hand side is the older MTD yard machine style right here for that. And I just want to give you like a side-by-side comparison between the decks and stuff like that, because the cups, one of my subscribers want me to do like a quick comparison between them two right here. The older one on the right hand side, you have the older tried and true flathead engine. This is probably about a 3 horsepower engine right here specifically for that. It has the older Pulsa Prime carb on this one here specifically as well too, guys. And you can also verify the model here of the machine by looking on the front of the engine cover on here, directly in front of the actual spark plug. So right here, this one here, let me see if I can flip it up and show you here specifically. You got your spark plug right here, and you look up under the shroud covering, and you have your engine's identification information right up here. You probably can't really see it, but it is definitely there. So I'm just going to pull it back here a little bit and give you a good shot here, so you can have a good shot. So there you go. There's your engine identification. This is a 2008 model year specifically for that. So this thing's about 12 years old. So I consider that like a earlier generation. Then you have the second one over here, which is the newer Briggs & Stratton overhead valve engine as well too. Well, these ones, most of the time, they have the identification tag typically in 2 locations right on here. You have the first identification tag right here. It may be right here. The second one may be down here as well too. This one is a Briggs & Stratton 2015 production right here, so it's a brand new. Well, it's brand new-ish. It's like less than 5 years old, basically, give or take a few months right there. So this is the newer generation, and you also have your identification tag, possibly on the right-hand side of the engine right here. So this one says date of manufacture. It's on the right-hand side. Date of manufacture is 8/19/2015. So this is the 09 P. This one's a 602. They have the information code right on the side, right next to your good old dipstick right here, guys. So that's where your information tag is on this one here. So you have like 2 different locations. You can have it on the side of the block, or you can have it on the front over by the valve cover, or over by the valve cover shroud thing over here in front of the actual carb assembly right here. So you have it right here. It might be right here, it might be down on this piece right here, or over on the other side as I just showed you on the cylinder block down as well too. So each machine, this is like I said before, the one here is a 2008 model right here on the right hand side, and this one is a 2015 right here specifically for that. In general terms, the one on the left hand side will typically yield called better fuel economy, if you want to call it that, simply because it's a newer engine right there for that, and that's what they have currently in the market right now for 2020 and up right there for that. The older one, you can still find these, however, one of the biggest problems I have with this engine right here is the actual carb. They have the Pulsa Prime carb on these machines, and more than likely you have to replace the carb if you have any kind of engine surging issues, or you have fuel contamination down inside, or so. You have this older MTD one right here. It's always guaranteed to replace the carb if you have fuel contamination issues. This one here on the left hand side, the Murray one with the newer overhead valve engine, I strongly advise to simply clean out the carb and rebuild it on her, because these carbs, I'd say about 98% of them right there, they can be cleaned out and rebuilt in probably less than an hour. Basically, I do a 3-step process cleaning out these carbs on these machines all the time. You take it off, put in some gasoline, soak in some gasoline for about 5 or 10 minutes, clean it out, blow it out. Then we also put in a carb soaking solution. It's a small cylinder shaped can, and you clean out the carb with that. Then the last step is we do the ultrasonic Jaws cleaners, and after that, the carb is basically clean as a whistle inside. It's almost it's clean as you can possibly make it. It's probably good enough to eat off of, basically what I'm trying to tell you. So that's what we do. We do a 3-step process over here for that specifically, and 99.9% of carbs come out perfectly fine after we do that and clean out and rebuild the carburetor. The older machine, like the one I have right over here with the Pulsar Prime engine, more than likely you have to replace the carb because 9 times out of 10, simply putting a new gasket and diaphragm in them, it will not do the job. You have to replace the carb. Those carbs are typically about I think about $30-35 for a new carb. So if you're in the market for, like, comparison, contrast between each one, and you're thinking about, possibly getting one, thinking about long-term, durability and stuff like that, these ones seem to have a pretty good track record right here for, overall general usage right now, because we've seen these probably for the past, I think, since around 2014, 2015, when they started, they first started coming online. So these ones seem to be quite good out there. Plus, the fuel economy on them is quite good as well too. They have they're a quieter machine running as well too. So if you're comparing them, from a typical standpoint of you want better fuel economy right there for that, I would get the overhead valve one right there. Versus the typical flathead one. This one will be more. This one will be noisier. It will use up more fuel versus the newer Murray one right here with the newer overhead valve design right there for that. This one right here, the Murray one, this one typically sells for about $150, $170 right there, depending on where you actually buy from. This older one, the yard machines right here, they can typically be had for, I think, about $140 to $150 because that's their bottom of the line bare bones one right there for that. So that's what I can tell you everything about the 2 jobs right here, guys. If you want to make it some kind of informed decision about getting each machine right there, I just try to highlight some of the overall features regarding those 2 machines. So we'll give you a side shot of each one here as well too, guys. Here you go. There's the red MTD deck on that one there specifically for that. And there's the air deck for this one right here. The identification tag will be on the left-hand side of the machine if you're standing directly behind it for the Murray lawnmower. And the MTD push one, the identification tag, will be on the top of the deck as it is in the back right here. So you have the identification tag on the rear left portion right there. And the second one, like I said before, identification tag will be on the bottom left corner right there for that on the Murray specific machine right there for that, guys. So here's a shot from the back, your bell control, and here's a shot from your back, this one right here, the Murray. So that's everything I got about the 2 machines here with the carbs and all the pros and cons and stuff like that. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about these 2 machines, like I said before, the one's a 2008 model year, and the second one here is a 2015 model year. So you have 2 different generations of like a bottom of line machine right there. Specifically, if you want to buy something cheap and possibly reliable, as long as you maintain it and you don't hit any kind of like rocks or stumps or stones out in your yard right there specifically for that, guys. So anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot, as usual, just drop me a message here and I'll try to get back to you within probably within 24 48 hours with some kind of a basic question to your answer, or if you have a comment about this video specifically for that. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.